January 12, 1940, 2:15 p.m., Eastern France. Second Lieutenant Audie Murphy stood on top of a burning tank destroyer, firing a .50 caliber machine gun at 250 German soldiers advancing through the snow. He'd been firing for 43 minutes. His right leg was bleeding from a bullet wound. The vehicle beneath him was leaking fuel, flames spreading, ready to explode. Behind him, his 19 men were screaming at him to retreat. Murphy kept firing. For the next 17 minutes, he would hold that position alone. When the smoke cleared, 50 German soldiers lay dead, and the attack had failed. Audie Murphy was 19 years old, 5'5", weighed 112 pounds, and would become the most decorated American combat soldier in history. But this story doesn't start with heroism. It starts with hunger, with a boy too poor to eat and too small to fight. It starts in a Texas sharecropper's shack where survival was a daily miracle and hope was a luxury nobody could afford. This is the real story, not the Hollywood version, the one about how desperation creates warriors, how poverty creates soldiers, and how the smallest man can cast the longest shadow. Kingston, Texas, 1920. If you blinked driving through Hunt County, you'd miss it. Population maybe 200. No electricity. No running water. Just cotton fields and poverty stretching to the horizon. Audie Leon Murphy, born June 20th, 1920, 7th of 12 children. 9 survived infancy. Good odds for sharecropper families in the 1920s. His father, Emmett Murphy, farmed other people's land and drank away what little money they had. His mother, Josie, married at 15 and spent 20 years paying for that decision. They lived in a 3-room shack with newspapers stuffed in the cracks to keep the wind out. Audie was small even as a child, malnourished, all bones and hollow eyes. His mother said he looked like a baby bird that fell out too early, but what Audie lacked in size, he made up for in responsibility. By age 8, Audie was hunting rabbits with a borrowed .22 rifle to feed his siblings. He became an excellent shot out of necessity. When you have 5 bullets and 9 hungry mouths, you can't afford to miss. He'd wake at 4 a.m., check his trap lines, walk 5 miles to school, then work the cotton fields until dark. Every day. No breaks, no childhood. School ended at 5th grade, not because Audie was stupid, because children who worked full-time couldn't attend classes. By age 10, he was picking cotton alongside adults for 50 cents per 100 pounds. On a good day, he might make $1.50. That fed his family for 2 days, maybe 3 if they were careful. 1936. Audie is 11. His father walks out one morning and never comes back. Just gone. Left behind a wife, 9 children, and debts the family couldn't pay. Josie Murphy, 33 years old, already worn to nothing, does her best, takes in laundry, works other people's fields, but there's never enough. Audie becomes the man of the family at 12. He stops going to school entirely. His mother needs him working, bringing home money, keeping his siblings alive. It's not a childhood, it's survival. And Audie learns the most important lesson of his life. When things are impossible, you do them anyway, because the alternative is dying, and dying is giving up. And Audie Murphy doesn't know how to give up. 9:41. Audie is 16. His mother collapses in a cotton field. Complications from overwork and malnutrition, the doctor says. The real cause is 20 years of poverty and exhaustion. Josie Murphy dies at 40 years old looking 70. They bury her in a pauper's grave. No headstone, the family can't afford one. Audie stands at that grave in the Texas heat and makes a decision. His younger siblings will go live with relatives. He'll enlist. He'll send his military pay home. It's the only way. There's just one problem. Audie Murphy is 16 years old, 5'5", and weighs 95 pounds. The military has standards. Audie doesn't meet any of them. December 7th, Pearl Harbor. Audie is working as a farmhand when he hears the news. He walks to the Marine Corps recruiting office in Dallas the next day. The recruiter almost laughs. "How old are you, son?" "18, sir." He's 16. "Step on the scale." 95 pounds. "Marines require 120 pounds minimum. You're 25 pounds too light. Come back when you've grown." Audie tries the Navy. Too small. Army paratroopers. Too small. Army Air Corps. They want pilots at least 5'6". Audie is 5'5½". Half an inch too short to fly for his country. 6 months pass. Audie drinks malted milkshakes, trying to gain weight, wears thick-soled boots to add height. Nothing works. Every recruiter sees the same thing, a skinny farm kid who'll die in the first week of combat. June 1942. Audie is 17, still underage, but desperate. He convinces his sister to forge their mother's signature, lies about his birthday again, walks into an Army recruiting station with one last chance. The recruiter looks at him, skinny, undersized, baby-faced, but it's 1942, and the Army needs bodies. Standards are flexible. "You ever fire a rifle?" "Yes, sir. Been hunting since I was 8. "Can you follow orders?" "Yes, sir." The recruiter sighs. "Welcome to the United States Army. God help you." July 42, Fort Walters, Texas. Basic training. The drill sergeants look at Murphy and make assumptions. Skinny kid, farm boy, won't last a week. They've seen hundreds like him. But Murphy doesn't quit. He can't. His siblings depend on his pay. Quitting means they starve. So Murphy endures. When other recruits collapse from forced marches, Murphy keeps walking. When they complain about the food, Murphy eats silently. This Army chow is better than anything he ate growing up. When they cry from homesickness, Murphy lies in his bunk thinking about his brothers and sisters. Murphy excels at one thing, marksmanship. All those years hunting rabbits paid off. He hits targets other recruits can't see. The range instructor notices, "Murphy, you might actually be good at this." September 1942. Murphy completes training. He's assigned to Company B, 1st Battalion, 10th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division. They're shipping to North Africa. Murphy is 18 years old and has never been more than 50 miles from Hunt County. November 42. Murphy lands in Casablanca, Morocco. First time seeing the ocean. First time leaving Texas. The other soldiers are excited, adventure, seeing the world, fighting Nazis. Murphy is quiet, thinking about his siblings, wondering if they're eating, wondering if he'll survive long enough to send another paycheck. July 10th, deploy Sicily, Operation Husky. Murphy's first combat, age 18. The landing is smooth, but once inland, the fighting intensifies. German forces have fortified the hills. Every village is a battle paid for in blood. July 5th, outside Comiso. Murphy's platoon advances through an olive grove. German machine guns open fire. Everyone hits the dirt. Men screaming, someone crying for a medic. Murphy sees his best friend, Private Laddie Tipton from Hunt County, get hit. Tipton's body jerks backward. He falls, doesn't move, shot through the chest, dead. 19 years old, grew up 3 farms over from Murphy. They enlisted together, were supposed to go home together. Something breaks in Audie Murphy that day, or hardens. The quiet farm boy disappears. What emerges is something colder, focused. Murphy stands up, everyone screaming at him to get down, and advances toward the German machine gun position. He fires as he moves. Controlled bursts. Pick a target. Fire. Move. Germans shooting at him. Bullets kicking up dirt. Murphy doesn't care. He reaches their position and kills all but 3 at close range. The gun falls silent. Murphy's platoon advances. They secure the position. Murphy sits on a stone wall, breathing hard, adrenaline fading. His sergeant approaches. "Murphy, what the hell was that?" Murphy watches Tipton's body carried past on a stretcher. "They killed Laddie." "So you decided to kill them?" "Yes, Sergeant." The sergeant stares at this skinny kid who just walked through machine gun fire. "Don't do it again. You'll get yourself killed." But Murphy will do it again, over and over. Because Murphy has discovered something. He's very, very good at killing, better than anyone expected. And in Sicily, in the summer of 1943, being good at killing is the most valuable skill a man can have. By war's end in Sicily, Murphy has earned his first Bronze Star for destroying a German machine gun nest single-handedly. His commander writes, "Private Murphy displays exceptional courage. Recommend promotion." Murphy is 19. He's been in combat 2 months. He's just getting started. September 43, Italy, Salerno. The fighting is worse than Sicily. Germans dug into mountains. Every hill costs lives. Every ridge is a bloodbath. Murphy fights through the Volturno River, through San Pietro, through the Rapido Valley. He's promoted to corporal, then sergeant, not because he's the best leader. Murphy is still quiet, uncomfortable with authority, but because he's the best fighter. Men follow him because Murphy gets results. January, Giratonjo, the plan: land behind German lines, break the stalemate, march on Rome. The reality: German counterattack. Anzio becomes a siege, 4 months of constant shelling, no movement, just dying. Murphy survives by becoming mechanical, emotionless. He doesn't think about friends who die, doesn't think about close calls, just focuses on the next minute, next hour, next day. Survival becomes routine. Wake up, check gear, patrol, get shot at, return fire, sleep if you can, repeat. By June 1944, Murphy has 2 Silver Stars. He's killed more enemies than anyone counts. Everyone in Company B knows, when things go bad, you want Murphy there. August 1944, southern France. Operation Dragoon. Murphy, now staff sergeant, age 19, leads a patrol near WWII. They walk into a German ambush, machine guns from 3 positions, mortars, coordinated and deadly. Murphy does something insane. Charges 1 gun position alone, throws a grenade, kills the crew, uses their captured M42 to suppress the other positions, while his squad flanks them. 14 Germans dead, Murphy's squad, 0 casualties. Murphy receives his 3rd Silver Star. He's also promoted to 2nd Lieutenant, Battlefield Commission. At 19, Audie Murphy is the youngest infantry officer in the U.S. Army. Other officers don't know what to make of him. Murphy doesn't look like a warrior. Still 5'5", still slight, still baby-faced, doesn't drink, doesn't tell war stories, just does his job with ruthless efficiency. But enlisted men worship him. Murphy leads from the front, never asks men to do anything he won't do first. When there's a dangerous patrol, Murphy volunteers. When there's a position to take, Murphy leads. Other officers send men to die. Murphy goes with them. By January 1945, Murphy has 3 Silver Stars, 2 Bronze Stars, and the respect of every soldier in the 3rd Infantry Division. But the mission that will define him forever is still ahead. January 25th, 1944, the Colmar Pocket, eastern France. German forces, 30,000 troops, have established a defensive salient west of the Rhine. They know the war is a loss, but they're not surrendering. Second Lieutenant Murphy's company has been tasked with clearing woods near Holzwehr. Supposed to be routine. Light resistance expected. January 26th, 2 p.m. Murphy's company advances through a snow-covered field. Behind them, 2 M10 tank destroyers. Ahead, quiet woods. Too quiet. Murphy stops. Something feels wrong. Hold position. The woods erupt. German machine guns, mortars, small arms fire, advancing through trees. 250 German infantry, 6 Panzer tanks, full counterattack. Murphy's company is caught in the open, 19 men against hundreds. Germans hit 1 M10 immediately. The crew bails. The second M10 reverses. That leaves the first M10 abandoned, burning. Murphy watches his company getting torn apart. Men falling, machine gun fire too heavy. Fall back, tree line, move. His men retreat, dragging wounded. They reach the trees, better cover but weak. Germans advancing. In 10 minutes they'll be over. Run. Murphy looks at the burning M10 in the field. The 50 cal is still mounted, loaded, operational. If someone was up there, they could slow the Germans, buy time. His men scream at him to fall back. Murphy ignores them. He runs across the open field alone and climbs onto the burning M10. The tank destroyer is a death trap. Hit by anti-tank fire. Engine burning. Fuel leaking. Smoke pouring from holes. Murphy feels heat through his boots. This vehicle could explode any second. Murphy grabs the 50 cal, aims at advancing Germans, opens fire. Germans are 200 yards away. Murphy fires short bursts. Tracer rounds streak across snow. German soldiers drop. The advance hesitates. Murphy keeps firing. Germans flank left. Murphy swings the gun, cuts them down. They flank right. Murphy kills them. They rush forward. Murphy fires until they retreat. 3 minutes, 5, 10. Murphy still firing. The barrel glows red hot. Spent casings pile around his feet. The M10 getting hotter. Fuel leak spreading, flames creeping toward ammunition. Captain Hogan watches from the tree line. He has a field phone connected to Murphy. Hogan screams, "Murphy, get off that tank. It's going to explode." Murphy's voice eerily calm. "Not yet, sir. They're still coming." "You're going to die up there." "Then I die, sir. But they don't get through." German commanders can't believe what they're seeing. 1 American on a burning tank holding up an entire assault. They concentrate fire, rifles, machine guns. Mortar shells land near the M10. Shrapnel peppers the vehicle. A German bullet hits Murphy's right leg, tearing through his calf. Murphy grunts, adjusts stance, keeps firing. Blood runs into his boot. He ignores it. 20 minutes. 30. Murphy's still there. Germans launch a coordinated rush, 50 infantry trying to overwhelm through numbers. Murphy calls artillery onto his own position. Hogan hears Murphy on the phone, calm. "Fire mission, grid 284 with 137, 200 meters my front. Danger close. Yes, I know. I can see them. Fire for effect." American shells land within 50 yards. Germans caught in the barrage, torn apart. The assault breaks. 40 minutes, 50, an hour. Murphy still firing, ammunition running low. The M10 is an inferno, flames visible inside. Murphy's boots smoking, his hands blistered from the red-hot gun. The 50 cal goes silent, out of ammunition. Murphy has fired over 200 rounds. Murphy climbs down, favoring his injured leg. He limps across the field. Germans fire at him. Bullets kick up snow. Murphy doesn't run, just walks steadily until he reaches the tree line. His men stare at him like he's a ghost. Hogan grabs his shoulders. "Are you hit?" "Leg, sir, not bad." "You've been up there over an hour on a burning tank. How are you alive?" Murphy sits, suddenly exhausted. They tried to kill me, sir. I tried to kill them. I got luckier. The numbers: 50 Germans killed by Murphy. 250-man attack stopped. Murphy's company: 0 additional casualties. The M10 exploded 15 minutes after Murphy dismounted. Someone asked why he didn't retreat when he ran out of ammo. Murphy's answer: because if I moved, they'd advance, and my men were behind me. June 2nd, 1940, war's over. Germany surrendered. Second Lieutenant Audie Murphy, age 20, stands at attention while a general pins the Medal of Honor to his uniform. The citation: Lieutenant Murphy ordered his men to withdraw while he remained forward alone, climbed on a burning tank destroyer, and employed its machine gun against the attacking force. He was wounded but continued his battle for almost an hour, killing approximately 50 Germans. His actions prevented a breakthrough and saved his company. Murphy stands expressionless while photographers snap pictures. Soldiers cheer. Murphy just wants this over. He doesn't feel like a hero. He feels tired. By war's end, Murphy has earned every decoration the U.S. Army can award: Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, Legion of Merit, 2 Bronze Stars, 3 Purple Hearts, plus 5 from France and Belgium. 28 medals total. Most decorated American combat soldier of World War II. Murphy is 20 years old. After the war, Murphy struggled. PTSD, they called it combat fatigue then, or just didn't talk about it. Murphy slept with a loaded pistol under his pillow for 20 years. Nightmares. He'd wake screaming, sometimes swinging at whoever was nearby. Couldn't hold a job, couldn't adjust. Actor James Cagney saw Murphy's picture on Life magazine and brought him to Hollywood. Murphy became an actor. 44 films between 1948 and 1955. He starred in To Hell and Back, playing himself. It became Universal's highest-grossing film until Jaws. Critics said Universal toned down the real story because audiences wouldn't believe it. Murphy said, "They left out the worst parts. Nobody wants the truth. They want heroes." Murphy struggled with depression, sleeping pill addiction, survivor's guilt. He became a PTSD advocate, testifying before Congress. He said, "I'm not a hero. The real heroes didn't come home." He also said something else. In a 1967 interview, "People think I wasn't scared. I was terrified every single day, every single minute. But fear isn't the enemy. Quitting is. I learned that picking cotton in Texas when I was 8 years old. When you're scared and hungry and there's no way out, you keep moving forward anyway. That's all I did in France. Just kept moving forward." May 20th, Murphy dies in a plane crash near Roanoke, Virginia. Flying to a business meeting, bad weather. The plane hit a mountain. Murphy was 45. He's buried at Arlington National Cemetery, Section 4, its grave 36611. His grave is the second most visited at Arlington after Kennedy's. Every day, visitors leave flowers, flags, notes. Vietnam vets, Iraq vets, Afghanistan vets, all paying respects to the soldier who proves size doesn't matter. Here's what the history books don't tell you about Audie Murphy. He wasn't fearless. He was terrified. He wasn't superhuman. He was malnourished and underweight his entire life. He wasn't a natural warrior. He was a hungry farm kid who learned to shoot rabbits so his siblings wouldn't starve. What made Murphy special wasn't courage. It was desperation. When you grow up so poor that survival is a daily miracle, when you learn at age 8 that nobody's coming to save you, when you understand that the only choice is forward or death, you become the kind of person who stands on a burning tank because retreat isn't in your vocabulary. Murphy once said, "I don't know why I'm alive and my friends are dead. I don't know why I got medals and they got graves. All I know is when it mattered, I didn't run. That's not heroism. That's just not running." The kid who was too small to fight became the most decorated soldier in American history. The 19-year-old who stood alone became a legend. The shy farm boy became the symbol of American courage. But maybe the real story is simpler. Audie Murphy survived Texas sharecropper poverty, and after that, German machine guns didn't seem so scary. He survived hunger, and after that, fear was just another thing to endure. He survived losing everyone he loved, and after that, dying didn't matter as much as making sure his men lived. That's the American soldier, not the propaganda version, the real one, the one who's scared and does it anyway, the one who's broken and keeps fighting, the one who proves that heroes aren't born. They're forged in poverty and desperation and the absolute refusal to quit. That's Audie Murphy.